So, um, yesterday I had a conference, I'm sorry, with the social worker at the nursing home. And so what's going on is we talked about a few things, but what's going on is that, and that's too, like, we had the conference on the phone. He called me. I had been there that morning, but I left. And he called me on the phone like maybe an hour later, saying that we were supposed to have a meeting that day, but there was an emergency. He couldn't get there. He's sorry, and that I guess he missed me. Um, well, I didn't get a notice this time for any meeting, so because usually they'll send a letter saying we're going to have a conference on a specific date. This time they didn't, so I didn't even know. So anyway, he called me and we were talking, and I was outside at that point. Um, but what came up was what's going on is, and her health is okay, so that's good. But what's going on is that, so when she first, checked into the nursing home, I had given her two blankets to take with her, and they kept going missing. But in the end, they were found, right? Over and over again, repeatedly. Well, this time, she still has one of them, but the other had gone missing again, and this time they can't find it. And so what he told me was that I should do two things, because I had told him I want to get her another one, but I'm afraid it's going to go missing again, like so many other things. And he said that one, I should save the receipt to show them, and I don't know if they would pay me back if it goes missing again. Maybe that's why, but okay. And two, I should take it downstairs when I get it and have them either sew or iron or something her name into it, which is fine. I'll do that again. But that was done with the other ones too, and it never helped. So, yeah. Okay, fast forward. This morning, I went to take the garbage down, and there was a blanket in the dumpster, the same color as the one that went missing. Yeah? And I figured, okay, they're going to start with this color now, and it's going to be an all-day thing, and it's probably going to last for a few weeks. I'm going to guess. Fast forward. I did go to see her, and after that, I went to this store, and it's a nice store. It's not very expensive, but their stuff is really nice. So I figured I'm going to be there. I may as well get a few other things too. So I went in, and there was this guy who kept following me around, and I don't mean right behind me. Like he would show up wherever I was. At one point, he circled around and he would meet me there. And like at one point, he circled around and met me coming from the other side. Like, so in a circle, I was going one way, and he met me coming the other way. And then what did he do? Another time, there was this really narrow area where I could barely get the cart through, and like the only other way to go would be to back out at that point. Well, there he came. He showed up right in front, like maybe, I don't know, maybe 12 feet in front of me, where in order to get out, I would have to pass right in front of him. So I backed out, and I went another location. Because you couldn't, there was not like another way you can go in that direction, so I had to go around. Anyway, again, he did it then. And again, he met me in a location where I was. And at this point, it's not that small of a store, so this is crazy. I got frustrated, and I'm like, I didn't say anything to him, but I mumbled to myself, what the fuck? And I kind of glanced over at him a little bit, and he looked kind of not irritated, and he wasn't gawking or smirking. He looked anxious. He was doing that thing that he had kind of done where he was moving from foot to foot and kind of looking around and then looking back at me. I don't know. So I walked away again. And then I heard a woman say to him, following you, huh? She was talking about me. So they reversed it. They fucking reversed it, and I hate that. I goddamn hate that. I call it Antichrist reversals for a reason, right? When they accuse the victim of doing what is being done to the victim, right? And then the victimizer looks innocent. And the thing is, like, I don't know if she's aware of what he was doing. Maybe she was involved, and maybe he didn't tell her. Like, maybe she didn't know. And of course, I'm not going to expect him to be honest. So that's that. Anyway, Last night, so I say last night, it was last night early this morning. Time just blends, it just blends now. I don't sleep well now. And when I do manage to fall asleep, I have nightmares and then I like wake up panicking and I can't always remember what I was dreaming of. Anyway, so it was last night or this morning and I was kind of lying there, trying to fall asleep. And I was thinking about how irritating it is when people chew gum really loudly and kind of slosh it around in their mouth. And I don't know why I suddenly thought about that because it hasn't been happening often. You know, it's kind of occasionally it happens, but it hasn't happened often at all. It's just irritating when it does. Well, today they've been doing that all day long. All day long. And including in the store. So at one point, some other guy I heard this thing in my ear, and it was the good ear that I can actually hear out of because my right ear, I have a loss of hearing in my right ear. But my other ear, I hear this thing, and then I turn to my side, and there's some other guy. He's standing right there, face to face, and he didn't have to be that close. I mean, yeah, the store was crowded, but he didn't have to be that close. And he's chewing gum and sloshing it and really going at it, like opening and closing his mouth as wide as possible. He grins, smiles, and walks off. Okay, fast forward. I'm waiting in line. Some lady got in line behind me, and she's doing the same thing. She's sloshing her gum and really loud, and it's just nasty. So now they're going to keep doing that, and I don't know how long they're going to do it, maybe a few days, a few weeks, but they're going to keep doing it because I was thinking about it last night, and I was getting irritated about it. So now they're going to do that. And also the woman was she wasn't wearing, she was carrying an item that was the same color of the blanket that I got for my mom, and the one that went missing. You know, just like in the dumpster, it was the same color. I'm not going to say what the color is because then I'm afraid they're going to start following you guys around and using that color too as like an anchor and just, you know, but because that's what they do. Like sometimes when I watch something from another Target and they'll mention like a specific thing or an item or an object or a color, then the perps will start doing that to me too. And it's not just that I'm looking for it, it's actually happening. And because they're trying to create paranoia between Targets. So I'm not going to mention the color. But she was carrying an item of that color. Fast forward. So I had a lot of stuff, so I took rideshare home. It was pretty uneventful. Nothing happened. The driver was okay. I get out, but no. We pull up like a little before the apartment, and there's this guy standing there. He's not standing right by the door, but he's standing just before the door. He's looking at the car. He's looking at me. He's looking into the window, right? Or at least he's trying to. I'm not sure he could see me that well from that point. He's looking back at his phone. So I knew something was up. And of course, he's wearing the same color shirt, right? He's wearing that color shirt. So I knew something was up. I get out. He's walking toward me, looking at me. So something's up. And this guy's an amateur because he looked kind of nervous. And he's looking at me. And he makes the gesture. He copies my mannerisms, right? And he was wearing something else. I'm not going to say what he was wearing because I don't want them to start following you guys with that too. But I'm guessing it's going to be another thing they're going to use for like at least a few weeks. So he passes by. Yeah, that's what's happening.